Hey guys. Hi, it's Renee from Raw Branded. Hopefully you can see me and hear me. I'm just doing a quick check to make sure that you can. If you can't, do comment below and let me know, okay? But good to see you guys again. I just want to jump in here and give you some tips here on branding. Particularly, I want to talk about this topic over here. That branding is more than just websites and logos. Branding is more than just websites and logos, okay? I want to make sure that you guys get this clear because as I'm talking to you guys, one of the things I'm hearing, I'm networking, meeting you guys, and it's been great. I've been loving hearing about your businesses, what you're doing to grow your businesses and, what your business premise is. All awesome things. But one of the things that you guys are telling me all the time is the next thing is segueing into, can you build a website? Can you create a logo for me? And I can. That's part of what I do. But I want to make sure that you have it clear that branding is not just about throwing up a website and creating a pretty logo. It's not just limited to that. That's not it. It's more than this. So I just want to make sure that is clear that that branding is, let's just think about, for instance, think about Oprah. What comes to mind when you think of Oprah? That thought of Oprah, and I'm not going to fill in the blanks for you. I want you to fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks when you're thinking of Oprah. What comes to mind? Jot that down. Or even if you happen to not know who Oprah is, think of Susie Orman. Think of her. What comes to your mind? For good or bad. It doesn't have to be, people who you admire or don't admire. Just think of what comes to your mind. Or even if you're not thinking about people, think about products like Samsung, or you can think of Adidas, Louis Vuitton. What comes to your mind when you're thinking of those things, those brands? Write those things down because those things that come to your mind, those perceptions, that's what branding is. It's about making sure that what's on top of people's minds are what you want them to be. Because here's the thing. Those perceptions, it's way better when you're in control of them. In fact, you need to be in control of them because if you are not actively owning your brand, driving the brand message, really getting it across about the brand story, in other words, if you are not defining your brand, other people will define it for you. And you don't want that. You don't want other people to define your brand for you. No. You should always be driving the ship. You should always be in control of the brand building, right? So you want to make sure that the perceptions are positive and really accurately reflecting what your brand is. So that's why it's so important. And this is particularly important for business owners, by the way, because a lot of you guys out there are solopreneurs, so you're really running the show by yourselves, which is amazing. And so when you're doing that and you're running the show on your own, you are the brand, right? You are the focal point. You're the first person. You're the line of contact. You are the beginning and the end of the whole experience with your business. And because you are the brand, it's really important that you get this correct. It's really important that you're really branding yourself in a way that it's a story. You want to create a brand story, right? So you're probably like, what in the world is a brand story? So we're talking about here the complete picture of your business here. We're talking about the promise, the personality. We're talking about all those things, the entire story. And if you're like, well, what do you mean? What is that? We're talking about the signals, right? That you send to people as they're engaging with you. You want people to know who's the lead in your story here when you're doing business with people. Who is involved? Who are your customers? What is the engagement like? What is the experience like? What is the value that you bring to the table? What is the complete picture? You want that full picture. So this is not like hocus pocus concept here. No. This is actually like building the foundation of a successful business by thinking of your brand story. That's why it's so important because it's not just like, well, I'll throw up a website or I'll do a logo oh, I'll make shiny, pretty things and they'll all come. People will come to me. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. People need to know what the story is. And you need to be in charge of the script, right? You need to write the script. I am going to wave the purple pen again as I do because I really want you to control the script. Write the script for people so that when they're engaging with you from beginning, the first time, the first point of contact, whether it's a website, a logo, whether they saw you on a live stream, whether they saw you on Instagram, wherever they started to engage with you, all the way to when they finished, because you want them to finish doing business with you, that whole story you need to be in control of. And if you're wondering, by the way, like, why brand story? What is up with that? Just think of when you're a little kid. What do we do to children? We read them stories, right? Why? Because stories are things that stay in our brains, right? Kids are able to retain stories. I know. Just think about little ones, who come up to you and is like, read me this story again, and they can recite it and they read along and it sticks in their brain, right? This may have happened to you, even from a child to an adult. You remember it, you can see it, you can visualize it like a movie. That's the same thing with your brand. You want that same quick reference, that same visualization, that same kind of thing where people recall your brand, your business, and they want that experience, right? So just remember the brand story. Just know that it's in everything you do to promote your business from the beginning to the end. And it goes beyond websites and logos. And you really need to craft this. So yeah, there's wide mindset prep involved. And yeah, there is foundational things you need to put into place, crafting that brand story. And yes, you need a lot of clarity in all of the pieces. And yes, it needs to be consistent and, consistently reflect your brand. All of that is very important. But when I'm talking about getting into the nitty gritty, this is where you really need to craft a brand story, and it's so important. So if you're saying, okay, now how do I write the script? How do I start creating a brand story? How do I do this? I want you to start by coming up with one word. I want you to think of one word to describe your brand. One word, and I want you to comment. I'm looking in the comments right now. I will be checking the comments. Comment, and I want you to think of that one word, right? Visualize your brand. Think about it here. No hocus pocus here. This is, think of like when we're thinking of Oprah or Susie Orman or Samsung or Adidas or, Nike or Apple, think of that and that one word that comes up. Do the same exercise with your brand. I want you to think of that one word and I want you to jot it down. And then we'll pull it apart a little bit and see what brought you to that one word. Okay? So, branding, yeah. More than just websites and logos. Part of it, yeah, those are elements, those are assets, right? Part of branding, but not the end all and be all. And that's not going to you sell your products. That's not going to make the connections with clients. That's not going to get the consumers coming through the door, rah cheering for you. This is not the end all and be all. Part, but not the end all and be all. So let's start crafting your brand story the right way. Chime in below. Share your one word. I can't wait to hear it. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.